We're gonna do another general collective reading. If the first one wasn't for you and it didn't resonate, that's fine. The second one might be for you. We're gonna use the Fairy Oracle deck. Um, the first one was the Energy Oracle deck. We pick up on energies and what's going on, and or whatever you guys need to know and or understand. Had to end my video because my son thought he was gonna play with me. Had to go deal with that. But I'm back like a pack. The Flourish card is here. The Lotus Flower Fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas in your life for those of others or others. I feel like flourish is just spread your wings, baby. Don't be afraid to show your gifts. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all be some talented motherfuckers. I see from rappers to singers to painters to drawers to cooks to chefs. Let me just tell y'all. I used to crochet scarves and hats and sell them at sets. I used to sell dinners. I used to sell cakes, like bake whole cakes and sell them cakes and pies. Yeah, I'm a fat girl. I used to sell cheesecake jars and banana pudding jars that I would make. Yeah, I know I sell and make and create body oils and body washes as well as body butter. Secure and shooting threes, that is. I do readings. And there's so much more I want to tap into. Never limit yourself. Let me just say that. Let me keep it tall with y'all. Don't think just because you're great at one thing that you have to limit yourself to that one thing. You don't. You really, really don't. If you would have told me in 2008 when I came home that I would be here where I am now, that I would be a tarot reader, that I would be a healer and all of that stuff, I wouldn't believe it. And not that it wasn't a part of my journey, because spirituality has always been who I am. I've been able to see things as a kid. But in the midst of my mess, let me just tell y'all, I wouldn't have thought it in a million years. You know what I mean? And let me tell y'all, when I was locked up, I was locked up. Younger me was wild and misunderstood. That's where I learned how to crochet, right? Crochet is the one needle. Knitting is the two needles. And it was like my pastime thing. And when I first came home, I was on house arrest, and it was summertime. It was summer of 08. So I just be in the house crocheting up scarves, crocheting blankets, making things and stuff for the people I love. And then I turned that talent into a business at one point in time. It's very time consuming though. I don't have as much time as I did back then to do it. And that was beautiful, and it took me where I needed to go, and I made money with that. Selling food, if you told me I was going to sell food, I would have believed you, because I've been cooking since a young age. That really wasn't about nothing. Making sweets and stuff, that really wasn't about nothing. Freehand decorating my cakes always made me nervous. Let me tell y'all this. I love baking. Love baking. And you ever watch all the cooking shows, and when the shot clock on and they all nervous and shit. So anytime that I would bake people's cake, I would have baker's anxiety. Not through the process of baking, but when it was time to decorate and ice my cake, like I would have to call my daughter or somebody to kind of woo-saw me through the steps or whatever. Because, you know, I would have anxiety about wanting things to be so perfect. Because we have this idea in our head, and people come to us with their ideas of how they want us to create something, and you want it to be so perfect. You want it to be so perfect. And I did an amazing job a bunch of times when I did it, and that made me a lot of money. But a lot of times we harnessed so much talent, but we afraid to put it out there, give it to the world. Stargazing is here and fairy spotting. But I'm just going to tell y'all, that's the need to believe in yourself. That's how I feel it is. I need y'all to believe in yourself more. You're a great musician. You're a great artist. You're a great writer. You're a great mom. You're a great dad. You're a great man. You're a great woman. And somebody might not know what their talent is yet. Meditate on it. Pray about it. Write things down. What do you like to do? What makes your soul move? What makes you happy? You know? Now, like there's people I know that if you ever said like, oh, they'll grow up to be this, yeah, it made perfect sense. Like a good friend of mine that I grew up with, he was rapping since young. And he still raps now, and he does amazing. And does that make sense to me logically? It makes perfect sense. But that's not always everybody's path. It doesn't always happen that way for everybody. Like, oh, this has been something that you've done your whole life, and now it makes sense that this is your career. Sometimes it just happens overnight. Don't feel like you can't be an overnight success. Don't feel like you can't win, like you can't succeed, like you can't be the most amazing business person. Let me tell y'all, I always wanted dry product, what I call is dry product, so you can ship it out, right? And when I was doing cakes and sweet potato cheesecakes and banana puddings and all of that, people like, yo, Melon. Yeah, but it's the whole process, and you gotta go get dry ice and make sure you package it and wait, you know. So I wanted to simplify life, or whatever the case may be, and I always wanted dry product. Now for me, my products now is my dry product, but it's not dry, but it's shippable. I can push it out. Years and years and years ago, I never thought I would be in this lane that I'm in now. You know, sometimes it's not what you think you're gonna do. Sometimes it's not what you think you're supposed to do. Sometimes your path is totally different from what you imagine, and that's okay. My life path just it twisted and turned and it danced, and it's constantly giving me new ideas and new things. But don't limit yourself. What if in 2008 I limited myself to like, no, I just want to be a crochet master, and I can crochet some shit: blankets, scarves, hats, baby outfits, baby booties, all type of stuff. I'll make me some good daisies, all type of stuff. So what if I said I just want to do this? I don't want to do nothing else. Then I wouldn't be a healer for you guys. Don't limit yourself. Don't tell yourself you're only one dimensional. No. Live. Be your best self every day. Be the best business owner. You got a sneaker business? Be the best motherfucking sneaker business on the block. You an artist? Be the best fucking artist on the block. I don't care who you is. Be the best you on the block. You a healer? Be the best fucking healer on the block. And not that you're in competition with nobody. It's never about being in competition with nobody. It's being in competition with yourself, with your mental, what you got going on upstairs. You know what I mean? That's that shit. You go to Walmart, you go to the bread section, 1,000 different brands of bread. It's some shit for everybody. Your shit might work for you. And who you attract, who your tribe is, who your people is, and what somebody else got, that might be like the same thing you have, but not exactly. It's going to attract them people. It's Hawaiian bread. It's Wonder bread. It's little, what's that? Sunny bean. The little, it's wheat bread, white bread, whole grain bread, banana bread. It's all type. I know. It's all type of bread. But if a motherfucker said, I'm the best bread baker on the block, but I'm too afraid to go and bake this bread because the world already got so much bread. Then what? It's Italian bread. It's potato bread. It's all type of bread. But if a motherfucker limited themselves and said, nah, this is it. You go get peanut butter, it's different brands of peanut butter. There's a difference in everything. So just like there's a difference in everything, there's a difference in every person. Don't be afraid to show the world what your difference is. Ashe.